Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. So in today video we'll see what is prompt engineering, how you can prompt your AI tool so well so that you can get exactly what you want, how you can get 10x better result from your AI. We'll see some good examples. We'll see what to exclude, what to include so that you will get the better response from your AI chat. Okay, so most people use ChatGPT or Gemini or any other AI tool like a Google search. They type something like write me an email for sick leave and they wonder why the results feel so boring or generic. But here's the secret: if you don't know how to engineer your prompts, you are leaving 90% of the AI power unused. So in this video I'll show you how AI really understand the prompt, what to include and what to avoid, the difference between the unclear and clear prompts, and how to refine your answers with the follow-up questions. If you ask something, then you have to ask the follow-up question. It might not give you the best answer in the first go, right? And I'll give you some real prompts for the, like, for everyone, like developers, tester, if you're a manager, if you're a HR, if you're sales, basically everyone, for it is useful for everyone. So let's get started. So think of prompt engineering like giving some instruction to a junior teammate. But if you say, let's say for you have to implement a search feature or pagination feature, so you can clearly mention that, okay, create a search feature for our particular API or application. It should filter, let's say we have one book application, right? So you can ask, create a search filter or create a search feature for our book API. It should filter by the title and author. Also it should return the result in JSON format. So now we give them a clear instruction what to do: create a search feature for what, for our book API, and it should filter by the title and author and return the result in JSON format. So now they know exactly what to do. They will also work like same way, use junior teammate, right? So the clearer the instruction, better the results. Okay, so always you have to give the clear result what you want. You have to give the prompt in details. Okay, then, okay, so I told you you have to give some follow-up questions, right? Follow-up questions means, let's say first time you asked, okay, create a search feature for book API, include a title and author for filtration, return the JSON. The next thing, you can ask any additional question on it. Okay, because this AI does not really think. It works with the words you give it and the conversation history. It stores the conversation history. It has a context window. So everything you type stays in the memory until it overflows. Okay. So it has a memory that store all our conversation. So based on that, it try to understand the context of our conversation. So if you ask any follow-up question, it will understand, and based on the context, previous conversation, it will give you the better response. So that's why if you give AI unclear prompt, it struggles. If you give AI like clear role, context, tasks, format, what are the limitation, it performs very well. So next, best practice, what you should do, what are the do's and don'ts in prompt. So basically you have to always include the role, context, task, format and constraints. Always remember, clear prompts include role. Role means what? Act as a senior backend engineer. Context, what is the context? Okay, I'm working on a Node.js API for books, or I'm working on a Flask API for books. So this is the context. He knows, okay, you are working on a Flask application or Java application or Node.js application for books. Let's say task, what is task? Suggest unit test with edge cases. So we have give a clear input like, I am role, act as a senior backend engineer. Context, I am working on a, let's say, Node API for book application. Task, suggest some unit test cases with edge cases. Okay, what are the cases it should include? Then format, give the output in a table, whatever, for in a table or in a JSON or in a doc, whatever you need. Then constraints, let's say keep it under 200 watts, something like this. So these are the things we have to be very clear when we want the exact result from the AI tools. So what, you need to include the role, context, task, format, and what are the constraints. Okay, and what to avoid? So avoid unclear prompts. Like unclear means write some test cases for my Node.js app. Not like this. Then overloaded, write a book, code it or summarize it. It's not good. Okay. So everything at a once, it can't give you the proper. Then missing context is missing, then how it will understand what was the context, in which context I have to write the code. You tell fix my code, you are not giving code. If you are telling is create a search feature, but for what application you are not telling. You have to tell in details. Let's say you want to create one model in database, you have to clearly give, okay, this is for this application, you have to include these fields. Let's say you are creating a user model in database. So let's say you are creating a MySQL table or MongoDB collection. You have to give, okay, my schema, create a schema for user table or user collection, which will include these fields like name, and name should be minimum 3 character, maximum 20 characters, or password, this should be required. All the details you have to give. So whatever your business requirement you should tell, then it will give the exact result. So let's see, I'll just copy this one, we'll see how it is behaving. Okay, so I'll copy and I'll paste it. Okay, let's see how it is writing. So okay, I am feeling unwell, will not be able to come to work, so that I would like to request sick leave, please let me know. It gave like this. Okay, now I'm giving this clear input, little details, like write a professional sick leave email to my manager for 2 days for of due to fever, keep it polite, concise, and under 100 words. Okay, let's see this time how it is giving. So if you see, I'm experiencing fever and would like to request sick leave for 2 days. From this to rest and recover. I'll ensure to catch up on any pending work once I'll return. Please let me know if you need any further details. So this is very concise, and we have given keep it in 100 words. We don't want a big essay on this. Okay. So this is very clear, polite, and concise answer. Similarly, if you ask like create a search functionality. Let's say I'll ask create a search functionality in React. Okay, let's see how it is doing. So it creates a search functionality. It creates a basic search functionality. But for your application, you might need another, because let's say you are working on a book application, right? You are working on a e-commerce application, you are working on a OTT application. The response might be generic, not for your application, not for your project, right? So for your project, if you want, you can ask, okay, create a search feature for a book application in React. Then it should filter by title and author. Okay, then it created type, like because we told it's a book application, so it created ID, title, author and title should be string. Then it will create one basic array of books. How it will look like this, let's say it will have ID, title, author. Okay, then filter then it has some input. Okay, search by title or author. This is clear placeholder for this, and it does the job. So if you want any other thing, you can ask the follow-up questions here. Create the API for this search feature in Node.js. So now it knows the context. Okay, you are building one React application and you are doing filtering by this. So it knows the context. Now it will do the Node.js API so quickly. So it create a search API which will take the query and it will return all the query, right? So it return in the JSON format. Okay, after that, because it knows the context, like we are working in front end in React, it will change the normal static data into dynamic data from the API. If you see, if it will fetch the API, get the data and set the data in the set books, then it will render, because it knows the context. So always keep chatting in the same conversation, same context and the same window. Do not chat every time, do not create a new chat. So what are the bad versus good prompts? We'll see. Let's say you are a tester, you are writing, okay, write test cases. It can't understand what test cases for what. If you write the context also, it can understand. So if I have to ask, okay, act like a act as a QA lead, write 10 test cases for a sign up form. Let's say for sign up form we are asking, so you have to tell, act as a QA lead, write 10 test cases for sign up form with email, password and OTP. Include positive, negative and age cases in a table format. Okay, if you are a developer, if you just copy your code and paste it and fix my code, how it will fix? No, you have to tell, act as a senior Python developer or Node.js developer or Java developer, which code you are going to give it. Then review this function for the performance issue and fix them. Explain the changes line by line. You have to explain, ask that, okay, if you don't understand that code, you can ask, explain the changes line by line, so that it will add some comment line by line, like what is happening in each line. Okay, then you can ask some, like we saw now, currently add search, it can't do like that. Okay, you have to tell in details, like act as a backend engineer or front end engineer, add a research feature for this book application, or it should support the filter for author, title, whatever. These are some good prompts versus bad prompts. So next we'll see for developer part. I know most of us are developers and we're trying to fix new feature, bugs, issues with this AI tools. Here are some good prompts you can use. Okay, if you're creating a new feature, so you can tell, like we discussed, act like an engineer, a backend, act like a backend engineer, front end engineer, DevOps engineer, whatever. You can do that thing, like act as a backend engineer, add JWT authentication system to this Node.js API and explain step by step with code. So if you don't know what is happening in this function also, you can understand. Then for any, if any kind of improvement if you want, then you can tell, like act as a performance expert, optimize this SQL query to handle 1 million rows, and explain the improvement, what improvement you have added, tell me line by line. Then if for the bug resolution, let's say, you can ask, like act as a debugger, find and fix the bug, whatever issue you have, you can tell that. Okay, so let's say if you are a code reviewer, if for the code review, you can ask, like act as a senior engineer, review this React component or Node.js function for performance and readability, and suggest some improvements. So it will review your code, like a senior engineer, give some fix or give some suggestion for you, improvement suggestions. Okay, and if you are AI powered coding, So you can tell act like a AI coding assistant. Suggest how to integrate Hugging Face model into my application. Show some code example in Python. Like that we can ask. Let's say if you are DevOps, how you can ask? Let's say act as a DevOps engineer, write a GitHub action workflow for CI/CD of a Dockerized Node.js application, or Django application. You can ask. Okay. So if for let's say you are working on security, you can ask like act as a security reviewer, check this Node.js application for any SQL injection or any suggest fix you can give. For documentation also you can use it like act as a tech writer and write API documentation for this Flask application or Node.js application in markdown format. Whatever format you want also you have to mention. For if you're a tester, you can ask like act as a QA engineer, generate the PyTest unit test cases for this particular function or for this particular file, covering all the edge cases, negative, positive edge cases you have to cover. Okay, in this way you will get the exact output you want from these AI tools. And if you're an architect, like how you can use, you can tell like act like a solution architect, suggest how to scale this microservice for 1 million users, let's say. So provide a diagram and explanation. So he'll give you the step by step explanation and what is the diagram so that you can present to your team. Okay. So these are some good prompts like for different scenarios for our work you can use. Whether you are a developer, tester, you are reviewer, you are fixing your bugs, you are improving the code, or you are implementing new feature, you are making the documentation, you are checking the security, or you are doing a GitHub code pipeline, whatever you can do, you can use in this way so that you will get the best out of it. So always remember, unclear prompts means weak result. Always be clear about your prompts, be clear what you want. Always include role, context, task, format, and what are the constraints. And always refine your prompts with the next questions. Okay, that's it for today video. If you found it helpful, please hit like, share and subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.